friends, my name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns. Welcome to your training session. If you're new to training, thanks for joining us. I hope you have a fun time moving your body, or as fun as you can. There is no pressure here. Move however feels good for you for as many times as feels good for you. So don't think because I'm demonstrating something that it means that's how many you have to do, or that the amount of times I repeat each round is the amount of times you have to do that. There is no pressure. So if you want to just try everything out once, perfect. And for people who are joining us, again, same goes for you. You know how these sessions go. Work with where you're at, with what feels good for you. That is what this is all about. It's an invitation to move in some ways that might feel good for you. And if it doesn't, you don't have to do it. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that these videos are recorded on the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Sovereignty never was and never will be ceded, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'd also like to give a shout out to Drummond Street Services and Queer Space. You rock, friends. Thanks for helping us bring all this good stuff out to the people who are watching us. Yes. Alrighty, friends, let's jump right in. We're going to begin with a warm-up. So we're going to start at the top of our bodies by moving our necks here. We're going to warm up all of our joints before anything else because it's really important to make sure our joints are all moving in the best ways that they can. So we're going to start at our heads. We're going to take our hands and just rest them by our sides. You're going to take your ear, you're going to tilt it down to your shoulder. And then the opposite side, just left and right. Be really mindful here, you don't want your shoulders to travel up towards your ears. That is not what's happening. Ears travel down to the shoulders. I think that's 5 each side. We're going to go to 10. All of these movements that we do, we're going to go to about 10 of them. So it's 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Now we're going to take our chin and we're going to point it up towards the roof. Then we're going to tuck it down to a collarbone, or as close to it as you can get. And we're going to go for 10 again. That's 4, 5, making sure you're gently reaching your chin up towards the roof, not letting your head sink back. That's about 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. We're going to finish off looking left and right here, so bringing our chin as close to our shoulder as we can, each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more each side, 10. Perfect. Alrighty, taking it down to our shoulders now. Now I'm going to give you two options because if you've got shoulder troubles, they're a bit uncomfortable with doing big movements, what you're going to do is a nice shrug, and you're going to use your elbow to just lead that circle backwards and forwards, controlling the height that your elbow goes to make sure that your shoulder stays feeling good. Now if you have shoulders that don't mind some big movements, we're going to take a straight arm and we're going to circle back as close to our ear as we can. Having a little bit of rotation at the hip here, totally okay. So let's go for 10 forwards and backwards on one side, and then we're going to swap it over to the other. So let's go. Doesn't matter what side you start on. Just going to nice, slow, controlled circles. We don't want to let our arm drop down at any point. We want to control this movement the whole time. 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10, and then we're going to circle it forwards. 1, 2, 3, that's it, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10, and then we're swapping sides. You do exactly the same thing. Nice, slow, controlled circles on the opposite side. Don't be worried if you find that your shoulders move a little bit differently. That can be quite common. You might not be able to get your arm as close to your ear on one side as the other. It's okay. I think that's 9 and 10. Let's go back the other way now. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Alrighty. Moving on to our wrists now. So you're going to bend your elbows and just tuck them in at your sides. This stops your whole forearm from getting involved here. We just want to have our wrist doing the movement. And what we're going to do is going to circle our palms towards us. We go for 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Moving down now, we're going to come to our hips. So you want to bring your feet to just wider than hip width here. Go too narrow and you could probably find you might lose a little bit of balance, because what we're going to do is push our hips forward as far as we can, and we're going to circle them around to the side. Stick our butts a little out at the back. Feels a bit weird, it's okay. Back around to the opposite side there and circling back around to the front. Now you might find you get some clunky corners here. It's okay. Our hips and butts have some big muscles in them, and when they get tight, they just get a little bit clunky sometimes, so that's okay. So we're going to do some nice slow circles here. We're going for 10. That's 5, 6, 7, keeping your chest up as high as you can here. You don't want to bend too much at the hips as you come forward. It's 8, 9, one more, and 10, and then we're going to go back the other way. You might notice that this direction feels different from the other side. If it does, it's okay. It could be tighter, it could be looser. Whatever it is, totally okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Perfect. Bringing our feet much closer together now. You can either go from completely together or just a little bit apart. You're going to bring your hands and just gently rest them on the top of your knees. You should be able to take your hands away here without falling over. So to do that, you just want to sit your butt backwards like you're going to sit down in a chair, but not sitting. Resting the hands on the tops of the knees. We're going to dip our knees forwards, gently circle them around to the side, straighten them up, come around to the other side. We're going to do some nice little knee circles here. You want to go for 10. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 9, and that's 10. And then we go back the other way. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And finishing off with some ankle circles. So if you need to find a wall or the back of a chair or something to hold on to balance here, definitely do that, because you are going to be up on one foot. If once you've found your support that you need, or if you're happy to do it without anything and just on one foot, we're going to circle inwards for 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes. And it's swapping sides. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Alright, friends. We're going to continue our workout, or our warm-up, both really, on the floor. So I will meet you down there. Here we are, friends, the floor. To continue with our warm-up, we're going to start our floor section by coming onto our hands and knees. You're going to put your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, as close to it as what you feel you comfortably can. You're going to sit back onto your heels from here, so the tops of your feet are going to come to the floor. And you're going to just creep your hands just a little bit further out, so your arms are kind of at the end of their length without you having dropped your chest down. From here, we're going to come forwards towards our hands, and you want to let your hips straighten out here. So bring them down towards the floor. Not enough to sag, but just enough to come to straight, kind of like we're in some sort of plank variation here. And you can even squeeze your butt a little in this spot if you're finding it's a bit uncomfortable on your lower back. Then we're going to sit back onto our heels, so you can use your hands to help push you back till you sat back down on your heels again. We're going to rock forward, exactly the same thing, bringing our hips towards the floor, rocking back, forwards, squeezing your butt a little bit, coming back. Coming as far forward over your hands as you feel comfortable. So if you're finding that it's a bit too much on your wrists, you can stop here just above your hands, totally okay. Working with what you're comfortable to work with. That's it. We'll do one more. Amazing. Sitting back onto our heels here, we're going to bring our hands just a little bit closer. So we're nice and stable, our chest is up a little bit higher. We're going to look like we're looking around the side of our shoulder, bringing our chin to it, and then going to the other side. Look around the shoulder, left and right. Keeping your hands about shoulder width apart here. One more each side. Coming back to looking forwards again. We're going to look up. We're going to look down, tuck our chin towards our collarbone. Looking up and down. One more. Amazing. Coming back onto our hands and knees again. What we're going to do is bring our knees to under our hips, our hands to under our shoulders. We're going to shift our weight to one side. Not enough that we tip over here. We don't want to lose balance. Just gently out to the side, circling forward over the fronts of our hands, coming around to the left, sitting back onto our heels. Nice, big, slow circles here. Just sitting back as far as you can, coming out to the sides and around the front, just as far as you feel comfortable to, so you don't have to go to any particular range that I may be demonstrating. That's it. And then we're going to go back the other way. So let's reverse that. I might get some clicks and pops, totally okay. It's just things getting moving, things getting warmed up. One more circle. Great. And that is our warm-up, friends. We have our first round coming up, so have your sip of water ready, have yourself a spot where you can have a breather ready, and we're going to jump straight into it. Here we are, friends, still on the floor. If you haven't left this spot, that's okay. Well done. If you've hopped up, make your way back down. We are going to begin our first round. We have 3 exercises to work through. I'm going to demonstrate each one, and you're going to work through it with me as we go through the first round, and then we're going to do it 2 more times after that. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. We've got 2 options here with this movement, depending on what you feel comfortable to do. Our first option, once we're on our hands and knees here, hands under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. You can either bring your knees up off the floor and just march on the spot, really figuring out where you're feeling those balance points for those opposite sides. Option 1, marching on the spot. Option 2 is from our kneeling, we're going to reach back, tap our opposite heel. So whichever of those options. Let's go. We're going to do 6 marches or 6 heel taps, bringing our knees up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well done. Blackboard says next we have either commandos or chest taps. So, starting with our chest taps, you're going to come into a nice tall plank position. Feet can be a little bit wider than hips. This is our first option, alternating those hands, left and right to tap your chest. Otherwise, we're going to do a commando, which is down on one side and up. So whichever of those two options, we're going to do 6. Alrighty, friends, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finishing off with lying lateral leg circles. Sounds so fancy. We're going to be on our side. And you're just going to casually lay. You're going to use your hand here to prop your head up. Legs are going to be out to the side. You're going to lift one up, and we're going to circle. You can bend this bottom knee if you like to help give you a little bit of balance. And we're going to circle 6 forwards. So it's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to circle 6 backwards. 1, 2, 3. Just making circles as big as you feel comfortable about. 4, 5, and 6. And then swapping sides. Again, using that bottom hand to support our head here. Bending that bottom knee if that's what you feel good about doing. Other leg comes out to the sides. We keep it nice and straight here. Top hand helps support. I'm going to circle whatever direction you feel good about. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then back the other way. Doesn't matter if they're quite circular circles as well. They can be a little bit oval or octagonal or anything like that. It's okay. Let's go 5 and 6. The burn, it's real. That is 1 round down. So we're going to work through this 2 more times. If you feel like you need to have a sip of water and a breather right now, totally go right ahead. At no point do you have to continually work through this just because I'm kind of running through this and demonstrating it for you. So work with where you're at and what feels good for you. So we're going to start again from the top with either our quadruped marching on the spot or our heel reaches. Whatever one you fancy. You can even try out both. So give the one you didn't do last time a try if that's what feels good for you. I'm going to come up on our heels. I'm going to do the heel reaches. And let's go for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well done. Alrighty, we have our chest taps or our commandos now. We're doing 6 of them, regardless of which one you choose, whether it's commandos or chest taps. Coming up into our nice tall plank, feet a bit wide. Remembering chest taps is when we reach one hand up. Commandos is when we bring the elbows down. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finishing off with our lateral lying leg circles. Lateral is just a fancy way of saying out to the side. So we lift our leg up and we're circling it sideways from our body. So it comes up and we circle up and around. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we go back the other way. 1, keeping them slow and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Swapping sides. You can just roll over. I just want to make sure I keep facing you so you're not staring at my butt while I do an exercise. Bending that bottom knee, legs out to the side. Whatever direction you feel like starting in, start in that direction. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. That is 2 rounds down. We have just one more to get through. Remember, just moving nice and slow. Slow, controlled movements are safe movements, and that's what we are all about. There is no rush. So rest in between each exercise if that's what feels good for you. Rest in between each round. Rest whenever you need. And when you're ready, we're going to start again with either our quadruped marching on the spot or our heel reaches. Going for 6. So our hands are on our shoulders, knees are under our hips, our knees are going to hover. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Great. Setting ourselves up for our last round of chest taps or commandos. Hands are on our shoulders, our feet step out to about hip width. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Amazing. Coming onto our side to finish off with our lying lateral leg circles. Bend the bottom knee if you feel good about it. Top hand rests on the floor for support. Circling 6 in one way and 6 in the other. Doesn't matter where you start. 4, 5, and 6, and then back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Swapping sides for the last time. Woo. Again, using our bottom hand to help support our head. Top hand to the floor. Bottom leg bent if you like. Top leg up and out. And let's circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost there. 5, and 6. Oh. Well done, friends. 1 round down. We have 2 to go. So have a breather, have a sip of water. I will be right here when you get back. Here we are, friends, round number 2. We're going to jump straight in. Now, our first exercises has 2 options for you. Option 1 is taking your opposite knee and opposite elbow and just crossing them over. Alternating for 6, or if you want to get a little bit more adventurous, you're going to step into a side lunge, come up. I don't know why that did that, but here we are. We're dance moving. It's a thing now. And we're going to step across for 6 on each side. So whatever feels good for you, just go with that. Alrighty. When you're ready, whatever option you want to choose, and let's go. Stepping out, coming up. 2, 3, 4. Don't tip over. 5 and 6. Swapping sides. Or we're still alternating with our diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, that one was interesting. My arms are doing what they wanted. That's okay. We're coming down to the floor. All right, we're going to go for a V-sit. Now, you can either have your heels resting on the floor, sitting back, hands just floating about like hands like to do, Or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can bring your feet up off the floor. Whatever works for you. We're going to go for 15 seconds. You don't have to hold that long if you don't want to. You can give the timer down. 2, 1. Let's go. Ooh, 15 seconds. Keeping your chest up nice and high, facing towards the roof. That's good. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relaxing. We're going to finish off on our backs with a hip raise for 6. So our feet are somewhere around hip width here. Hands are going to be down at your sides. What you're going to do, set yourself up. Make sure that you plant your heels nice and firmly. You want to drive down through your heels here. Lift your hips up as high as you can. Come back down. But I want you to hover just before you touch the ground. Butt's not allowed to touch the ground again until all 6 are done. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we come down. Amazing. That is 1 time through. We have 2 more to get through. Working through at your own pace with whatever feels good for you. So back to either our alternating diagonal knee to elbows or our very fancy side lunge to diagonal knee to elbow. I feel like being a little bit fancy around here today. When you're ready, 6 on one side, 6 on the other, or you're 6 on one side and 6 on the other with your alternating knee to elbow. That's not the right hand. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Coming down to our V-sits again. 15 seconds maximum. We've got this. Setting ourselves up. Remember, your heels can hover off the ground, or they can sit on the floor. Whatever feels good for you. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. See if you can slowly build up. If you only got a couple of seconds last time, see if you can go just 1 second longer. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but that's okay. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and everything comes down. Down onto our backs now. For our hip raises. So, feet are planted somewhere around hip width. Hands are on the ground at your sides. You're going to drive down through your heels. Lift your hips up. Now, you're going to challenge yourself to not let your butt touch the ground. It's going to hover just above. Let's go 2. I'm going to go for 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we come down. That's 2 rounds down. We have 1 more to get through. Remember, take a breather whenever you need here. So if you need to pop off, have a sip of water, have a drink, you can watch me do the last round if you like. You don't have to join in. Whatever works for you, friends. Work with where you're at. Tidy ourselves up for this last round. Alrighty. We're going to begin either diagonal knee to elbow or adding that side lunge in. If you're feeling a little bit adventurous, when you're ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing other side. Stepping out the left, right elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, don't fall over. Wow. 5 and 6. Yes. Here we are for our V-sits, friends. Heels are out. Doesn't matter if they are on the floor. Doesn't matter if they're hovering. Whatever feels good for you. Take a moment to catch your breath. We're going to go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Last time. This is it. Last time you might be doing V-sits with me today. And can't stop you from doing them yourself. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relaxing. Finishing off with our hip raises. So on our backs, feet are planted, and we're driving through our heels here. Hands by our sides, raising our hips up. I challenge you to not put your butt down. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's our second round down, friends. We have one more to get through. So have a breather, have a sip of water, get your sweat rag out, damp yourself off. We'll be back. We are here, friends, for round number 3. Starting on the floor, we're going to need a little, like a runway, I guess. We're not running. We're going to be hopping. So we're going to do a neat little move that I like to call a frogger. I didn't name it. It was already called that when I learned it. We're going to start in as low of a squat as we can. So if yours is a bit higher, say if your butt's up in the air or whatever, that's okay. Working where you're at, you definitely don't have to be able to squat like this. You might find if you bring your feet a little bit wider, it helps you get down a little bit lower. But working where you're at, we're going to go in whatever variation of a low squat you can get into. Hands are going to come to the floor, and then you're going to take a little hop forward with your feet. 2, 1 more. 3. We're going to turn around. We're going to go back for 3. 1. 2, just tiny little hops here, just a little shuffle. 3. And we are coming onto our backs now. I'm going to lay flat on the floor. You want to give your legs a moment because they can get a little bit of a burn in them from that squat position. And when you're ready, we're going to bring both our legs up into the air here. Now, if you need, you can bring your hands to under your butt here to support your lower back. Both legs are up. One comes down just as low as you can get it, comes back up, and then we swap. So I know for 6 like this. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And finishing off with a bound, which is a fancy way of saying jumping forwards. So you're going to bring your feet to just wider than hip width. Squat yourself down as low as you can and just jump forward, landing nice soft knees. You don't want to land with straight legs, it'll be really jarring through your spine and stuff. It's not fun. Then we're going to turn around. I'm going to do one more time. So squatting ourselves down, jumping forward, pushing our arms back to help us jump forward. That's it. That is our first round down. So we're coming back down to the floor for our froggers. I'm going to start at the starting point for those, at the start of my runway. Again, taking a moment to find the bottom of your squat, so you don't have to rush straight into these, because if your butt's up quite high, that's okay. Just getting to where you can get to. And when you're ready, hands come forward and just do a little hop. 2, so you want to shift your weight just a little bit on your hands so your feet become just a little bit light. Turn around. You don't have to turn around like that. And we go back. 1, 2, 3. Coming back in the most graceful way we possibly can, of course, to our straight leg lowers. So our hands come to under our butts to support our lower backs here. Our legs are coming straight up in the air. One comes down and then up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Finishing off with our bound. So, starting with our feet hip width apart, squatting down as low as we can. Nice jump forwards. Doesn't have to be huge, just a little hop is fine. We're not trying to break any records here. Just want to remind our bodies that it can jump, because as we age, our bodies can forget that. And again. Nice. That is 2 times through. If you need to have a breather, have a sip of water, totally do it, friend. We have just 1 more time to get through when you're ready to jump back in. We're going to start with our froggers. I'm sure you were hoping I'd forgotten that. Finding that low squat. Oh, the low squat. Alrighty, 1 more time. Hands come forward. 1, 2, 1 more. 3, turning around. And we're going back. 1, 2, 3. Coming down, we have our straight leg lowers. 6, alternating left and right. Hands come to under our butts. Legs come straight up in the air, or as straight up as they can get. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Finishing off with our bounds. Feet are wider than hips, just a little bit. Squatting down as low as we can. We bring our arms forward and then swing them back as we jump. 1 more time. Yes. Alrighty, friends. That is it. We are done. Thank you for joining me today, for moving your body a little. Hope you discovered some new things and maybe challenge yourself a little bit. I hope it felt good in a challenging sort of way. And don't forget, we have a live stretch class every Thursday night at 6 o'clock, Australia East Coast time. And we have a session every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. It is a pre-record, but it can help you get moving, help you start your weekend. Until next week, friends, enjoy yourself.